practice of marketing the business using paid advertisements that appear on search engine results pages. So a lot of what we've talked about so far has been like email marketing and your website and organic search engine optimization has all been stuff that you can largely do with the cost of you as digital marketers existing. Obviously there are some setup costs for websites, setup costs for maybe using a professional like a CRM, customer relationship management database and things like that. But in general, those elements we've talked about already have been sort of evergreen marketing techniques, things that are paid for effectively just by you being paid as an employee, as a digital marketer. So paid search that we're going to look at today and paid ads is sort of the first bit where you're actually going to sort of hand over money to actively try and get customers. So yesterday we looked at how to get to the top of these results, and today we're going to look at how you create these results. These are paid search, paid per click adverts. Sometimes they're very useful, and sometimes I don't know about you, but a lot of the time I ignore those and go straight to these and just try and get to the ones that are organic search. But sometimes the sponsored ads are very, very useful. I mean, they are very useful, otherwise people wouldn't use them. But not every customer, not everyone who ever searches is going to click on that one or that one. So just like any digital marketing content, the more targeted, the more relevant it is to the consumer, the more likely it is that it's going to work. So there's a few different elements to paid search. There's pay-per-click, which is those what we saw in the search results pages, paid search by search engines. There's also paid search via social media and paid search via audience display networks as well. So we'll go into these three things today. So basically, pay-per-click is when you bid on a search term, the things that people are typing into the search engines, so that your website appears before others in the search engine results page. So you're picking a keyword that you've done your research into what your audience is searching for when they are likely to want to come up. When the sorts of words they'll search for to find your product, or that you think they might want your product if they're searching for it. So you need to do, before you start a paid search campaign, you need to do your keyword research, same as you would before creating any page on your website, before writing any titles, before writing any headlines. You need to know what keywords your audience is interested in and what they're going to use before you decide what search terms you want your ads to appear alongside. So once you've decided on your keyword, which might be laptop. So your keyword might be laptop, and you want your particular, like you want to just have your product page that sells a laptop to appear in the search ad when someone searches for a laptop. So once you've decided on that, you've created your ad, then every time someone clicks on that ad, sending a visitor to your website, you'll need to pay a small fee to the search engine, basically Google. let's not pretend we're talking about anyone other than Google. They all work the same, but so we're focusing on Google Ads. So every time you click on a sponsored ad, it's costing the company money. So when you, I don't know about you, but when I search for something from a small business, I will avoid clicking on the sponsored ads because I know that it's going to cost them money. But when you might have competitors that you might want to cost money, and you might click on their ads, and you know it's going to cost them money. It's only a tiny bit of money. It's not going to make a difference, but it might make you feel good about costing your competitors money. This is the dashboard. I'm not sure if you'll be doing it in your seminars for this module, but certainly next, in one of your following modules, you'll be doing a paid search campaign. So you'll be using this dashboard. This is the Google Ads dashboard, where you can see a lot of information about how many people are clicking on your ads, where they're coming from, where they're going next. So certainly at some point during this degree that you're doing, you will be using that. You'll get very familiar with this dashboard. So Google Ads is absolutely it's the single most popular pay-per-click advertising system in the world. Generally, when people are talking about pay-per-click, they are talking about Google Ads. It's just one of the many things that Google has been incredibly successful at. In fact, everything that Google does is reinforcing effectively its paid search, because this is where it gets its money from, is from paid search. So all the things that Google provides to you for free, like Google Docs and Sheets, the search, in fact, in general, photos, all of that, it all boils down to helping them make money from Google Ads. If you're using Google, they're making money from ads. So what they say as part of their sort of key message, what they do is says here, we know you want to focus on what's most important running your business, so our smart technology will help find ways to improve your ads and get you better results. Plus we'll provide reports, insights, ongoing tips so you can track your progress and make your ads even more successful. And I think one of the key things here, the thing that makes Google Ads so successful is their smart technology, their algorithms that make sure that the right ads get to the right people. Do you ever feel like you have talked about something with a friend, or you have thought about something and then you see an advert for it? It's not listening to you, it's not reading your mind. The algorithms just have so much data about you and about what you do online and about where you go location-wise, because obviously Google has location data as well, that the algorithms know what you're thinking of. It's not that they're reading your mind, it's that they can predict very well what you're going to be talking about with friends and what you are and what you're likely to start thinking about. It's incredible. Also, if you are talking with somebody about something and you don't search for it, but they do, Google knows that you were with them, so they might show you the ads as well. So the algorithm is taking data from about what you search for, where you go online and where you go physically, and who you're with. So it takes all of that and it targets ads based on that, which is incredible, really. I mean, it really is incredible. And it's just getting cleverer and cleverer all the time, and we give more data again and again over time. So this is the process of how you set up a Google AdWords campaign. So it takes you through it. It's very, very simple to do. But all of it is for nothing if you don't really know what keywords to use. So before you start this process, the thing you really, really need to do is research what keywords you're going to bid on. But once you've got that, It'll take you through everything. So it starts with telling you your goal. So we've got here, what do you want to do? Get more calls to your business, phone calls? Do you want to get more people through the door of your physical store? Or do you want to drive more people to your website and take an action on your website? And then it's got examples of the different sorts of ads that will appear based on that. So if you want someone to actually go into your physical location, the ad might have a map with a location. If it's calling, it'll have the little call icon, so if you click on that, it's going to call. When I was working at the university in their marketing department, one of the things we wanted people to do was, after they get their exam results, was to call us. It was we really wanted to get them on the phone, to talk to them, to offer them a place at the university. So we used a lot of these ads where you had call the number. Who here hates making phone calls? Stick your hand up if you hate making phone calls. Okay, there's universal around the world. I'm glad to see it's the same everywhere. My students in England hate making phone calls as well. Me too. I'll do it online. Everything I can do online, I'll do online. So the next thing is deciding where you're going to advertise. So this is when you're deciding where your audience is. Where are your customers? Are they worldwide? So are you selling something really niche product that everyone in the world wants and you're the one that provides it? Or are you focusing more on just Vietnam, or are you focusing more on just your neighborhood? So it depends entirely on what sort of business you are. If you're selling flowers, you probably just want your very local area. But if you were selling one of these amazing handbag hooks that we have here, it's great people, you might sell this around the world because it's very cheap. Very cheap to kind of send around the world, it's very small. So you might want to advertise globally. So you've got to decide where your audience is. And if it's local, we'll end up with something like this. If it's global, there won't be a map, obviously. The next thing is key. This is where those writing skills we were talking about is coming in. This is where you need to use 3 short sentences, it says. But really, the first sentence is most important, but 3 short sentences to highlight what's best about your business. And this is something that when you're starting your digital marketing campaign or your entire marketing campaign, these sorts of messages are the things that you need to decide really early on in your marketing campaign. We'll be talking about strategy and planning a little bit later on, but knowing what you want to highlight about your business is very important. So by the time you get to this stage, you should already know what your key messages are. But then you might want to tailor them to different segments of your audience. So depending on who you're targeting, you might be giving a slightly different message to them. So yes, create your message. But definitely don't get to this stage without having already planned that. You can also create ads with images as well. So you can get free stock images, but what you really want are high quality images of your actual business that you've commissioned. So this one, the example they've got there is just discover your style, shop the latest trends, and then just the name of the business, Home Furnishings Limited. So title, tagline, and the name of the business. This one's very, very important. How much do you want to spend? So basically, the way that pay-per-click works is that that you will pay every time someone clicks. If you set a budget of $1 million, but that only like a couple of people clicked on it and actually it only ended up costing you 1,000 dong, you only get charged 1,000, you don't get charged 1,000,000. So you can set your budget, but you will only pay up to that point what people click on. And if you're not getting to the budget, then you need to adjust your campaign, basically. But yes, you need to know how much you're willing to spend each month or per campaign on your pay per click. So it says here, you'll never pay more than the monthly cap you set. Basically, once you reach your cap, so if it was $1,000,000, once you reach that, the ad just disappears. It won't be shown to anyone else. So, and you can also adjust it at time. So if you reach that limit in a couple of days and you're getting conversions, then you can add more budget. They also show you the estimated results. So they said that with this budget, you'd estimate that you'd get 130 to 220 clicks or calls. And then after that, you go live. So as soon as you start it, as soon as you click done, that's it. Your ad will start appearing in front of people when they're searching for those particular keywords. So there are lots of benefits to pay per click. The ad gets shown to a wide group of people. So even if someone doesn't click on it, they're still seeing the advert. So actually, every time that someone sees it and they don't click on it, it's a little bit more brand awareness for you as well. So ideally what you want is for people to click on it and to do a conversion on your website. But there is an absolute benefit of just people seeing Dior.com along the bottom there, and then maybe if they don't buy boots today, they could buy boots another day, they might think of that first without clicking on the ad. So that's one very, very strong benefit of pay per click. The other one is absolutely that you only pay when someone actually clicks on the ad. Totally different to traditional marketing, where you obviously pay every time, well, you pay for a duration that, for example, a billboard poster is up, or a TV ad is on television. The results are very, very fast. You can see within, depending on how popular or how sort of business you're running, you might see within 10 minutes if it's being successful, or you might see within a couple of days. So you'll know straight away if it's successful, whereas with a traditional marketing campaign, it can take a lot longer to see results. It can take weeks or months. You can customize how much you spend. It's very, very variable. And as I mentioned, it basically increases your online visibility. It's going to get more and more people knowing about your business. These actually, one of the things here as well is that, because these are specifically luxury goods, these boots cost up to £1,390, which is a lot of money. Traditionally, when you're advertising to that market, those people who are spending that much money on a pair of boots, you really would be paying a lot of money to get sort of into high-end magazines. So this is a very, very cost-effective way to advertise luxury goods. So, the key to a successful pay-per-click campaign. The number one thing is that your keywords need to be relevant. You really don't want to be showing, what was the keyword? What's the search on that one? So that one is the search for, literally search for Dior boots. What you don't want is for these Dior boots to show up if someone has typed in cheap boots, or you don't want Dior boots to show up if someone has typed in cheap. Equally, if you are selling cheap boots, you don't want your boots to show up if someone searches for Dior boots unless they're a knockoff. So it's very important that you're specific with your keywords, because I mentioned, I think it was might have been Monday, I mentioned that the university that I worked for, when they were advertising a photography course, they had made it so an advert for their course appeared when everyone typed in photography. Thousands paid for lots and lots and lots of clicks on those adverts, but actually none of them resulted in conversions because the keyword was not specific enough. So those clicks that people were doing, that we were paying for, were completely wasted. It was money wasted because the keyword wasn't specific enough. So keyword choice is the #1 thing that's going to lead to a successful pay-per-click campaign. So really, really thinking about doing a lot of research using Google Trends and focus groups and surveys, just really trying to find out what keywords people are using or would use if they wanted to find something like your product. So then, once someone has clicked on the keyword, on your ad, you need to make sure that what they actually land on is also set up to convert those customers. If you have an ad for example, if you have those ads for a particular pair of boots, and you click on it, and you just go to the Dior.com homepage, that's very frustrating for the customer. They're like, no, I don't want to search for the boots. I clicked on an ad for those boots. I want to go straight to a page that's going to sell me those boots. So you've really got to make sure that the page that they land on for each ad is totally relevant to what they clicked on, and has a very clear call to action, whatever it is you want them to do, is to buy those boots. It needs to be very persuasive, it needs to have relevant content, clear calls to action, tailored to specific search queries. So if your keywords are perfect, and the ad is great, it means nothing if they click on it and they get to somewhere frustrating. We don't have time to be searching around websites when we think we're going to go straight to somewhere. Generally people make a decision, I think the research is it's like in milliseconds that people make a decision whether they're going to stay on a website or not. So just like Google, spiders are making quality judgments about the quality of your website, of your web pages, they're also making decisions about the quality of your ads, and they add a quality score to your keyword, landing pages, and campaigns. So if Google thinks you've got a good quality score, if they decide that you're using relevant keywords, the way you're sending your customers is good, and generally that you're setting up a good campaign, they're going to charge you less per click. So the prices that they set per click are not purely based on the actual keyword. They are based on lots of factors. It's dynamic pricing. So quality score means basically they're rewarding you for being good at your job and getting you more clicks for less money. And of course creative. So being creative, so writing good copy, having those excellent writing skills, being very clear on what your messages are for your product or your service will get you clicks. Make sure everything is spelled right, make sure you're using the right words, make sure that you're doing the most to sell the product to the people, to your audience. I would say also pick the images, the quality of the images that you're using in terms of creativity. That's really, really important. As I've said before, we're very visual creatures. We are attracted to shiny things. So we need ads that are going to grab our attention for us to click on. So, once you've got your campaign, once you've got it all set up, the thing you are checking for is conversions. So conversions is probably the most important word for digital marketers. All of your work is for nothing if you don't get conversions. All of your work that you do across all platforms, all your tools, is trying to get conversions. So on an ad, conversion is an action that's counted when someone interacts with your ad or free product listing, for example, clicks a text ad or views a video ad, and then takes an action that you have defined as valuable to your business, which is an online purchase or a call to your business for a mobile phone or gone to the location. It's you define what that action is. So Google doesn't decide what your conversion is to be. You decide what a conversion is. So it's whatever's important to your business. When we talk about conversion rate, that is the average number of conversions per ad interaction shown as a percentage. So if you've got, you might have 10 different ad campaigns running